In some regions of North America, it seems that locating the best spots to look for structures and to have encounters with a group of Sasquatch is easier because the forests are more limited, more pocketed. You have high mountain forests, or you have canyons that can be identified through Google Earth, and that's where your populations are likely to be operating and living. In much of the rest of the country, it's just uniform forest cover, and it's not differentiated like it is, say, in Utah. Therefore, you have to look for certain topographical features like deep valleys and interesting anomalies. Here's a mountain that I drive by several times a week, and it's kind of captured my attention. And then I looked on Google Earth and I found all these pock marks, as I call them, these open spots. And I can't quite tell what they are. It looks at times like they are places where the trees have been pushed down very specifically. But they might be something else. So I'm going to go here and try to check them out and look around for signs. It's pretty typical when you have a boulder and you have a bunch of things laid against it. Here are two big limbs. One up there, another one over there. And then right next to it you have this boulder. And at first I think, oh, look at all the parallel branches. They love parallels. Well, most of them are connected down here, but not all of them. You have this one rising up to join the parallels. You have this, which is separate, rising up to join the parallel. You have this stick here, and you have one up there. Let's go see the other side. Okay. Oh, nice. You have that stick there. Two of them, actually. This one. And these all leaned against it. Over here, two more leaned upside down. And one over here on the back side of the first boulder. Not too dramatic, but pretty consistent, I found. And you have the very subtle but noteworthy kinds of discoveries. You have 1, 2, 3, 4 separate branches, definitely separate, all broken off, and simply laid into this crook. It's a very pleasing sight to come across. Very gentle, just a light, a signature with a light pencil instead of a Sharpie. Here again, another of their boulder installations. See, they love it. Not all boulders have it, but the ones that do tend to have it pretty obviously. Can't even count the number of sticks that are all leaned up on this side of the boulder. Sticks and branches. It's crazy. On the other side too. Okay, we're walking along a trail here, and I see that, and it draws my attention to this double break here. This one's broken and bent down right above it. This one's broken, and I look over here, and we have one, two, three, at least three. So maybe the trail that they take goes up, but I don't have time today, so maybe we'll find more of these breaks along here. You see the clustering of them though? It's pretty impressive. At least 5 within 6 feet of each other. Looks like an excellent spot for a lookout over where deer travel, no doubt. Just sit up here, and as if to mark the spot, we have this break, that break, that break, and down this break here. It's like a berm at the end here, as if sculpted on purpose. Sit here and watch whoever's coming. Pretty nice up here. A lot of dead and dying trees, it looks like. No structure so far. Okay, now I'm on the back side of the mountain, which is where the pockmarks are supposed to be. At least they were a year and a half ago when the Google Earth image was snapped. So I'm going to try to find them, trying to solve the mystery. Just find one of them. Here's what looks to be a trail. And right here is a typical pine tree top. This here is just a broken off pine tree. Just the top part. See, it winnows down to the top over there. And there's no source. There's a birch tree. There's a thick pine tree. Couldn't have fallen through all that. It'd be ridiculous to wind up at the bottom. These things are often just snapped off and laid down near a trail. Below me I can see a sea of mid-April non-leafed forest. I don't see any of the gaps that are visible on Google Earth. So I don't know where to look for them. It's frustrating. This one here seems to have been twisted around. It seems that it would have wanted to fall that way instead of this way. See the twist? And right below here, what do you notice about these trees? No branches broken off. And yet, right down here, two separate branches crossing in the crook. Another one just hanging here. That's kind of cool, huh? There's no source for them. Lots of times I start to think about filming something like this, and I look up and see a source, and I don't, because it's not quite as persuasive. There's a natural explanation, but I don't see one here. Here's a little teepee type thing. It's obviously better if there's a lot more pieces to it, but at least all three of these are stripped of bark, which is typical. I just almost walked on top of a grouse or a partridge. She startled me, flew away, and look what she's protecting. How adorable is that?